Matt Martin here from Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. You can check me out on Twitter at Matt Martin Radio, and also you can check me out on Facebook. But Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin, it is from 6 o'clock to 8:30 a.m. every morning on 790 a.m. KFYO. But I'm here a little bit. This is just a kind of an after show talk session here. I had a little story that I really wanted to talk about. Didn't get a chance to do so this morning. So this is a little story out of Politico. Politico saying that Republicans quietly plot a Dreamers deal. Now, I'll make sure to have a link of that story in there if you want to read the whole thing, just down in the section down below video. But key Senate Republicans have begun privately discussing the contours of an immigration plan to shield the hundreds of thousands of Dreamers who will lose work permits and deportation protections starting early next year. Now, this is talking about a plan from multiple different senators. Now, this was from an interview with John Cornyn, who is my senator here in Texas. But it talks about multiple different ones like Jeff Flake of Arizona. Does that not give you a little pause? Lindsey Graham is one of the ones. Tom Tillis. I mean, there's just some names in here that scare me just a little bit. So let's see what kind of solutions they have. Number one, what's the first thing they're going to do? Let's see. Throw out E-Verify. We don't want E-Verify. We don't want to have to check and make sure you're legally able to work here in the United States. So we're just going to chunk E-Verify. Now, does that sound like a good plan to you? I don't think that's a good plan. My personal opinion is not only should you be verified in the United States before you get a job, but you should also have to go through E-Verify before you can get any type of welfare, any type of food stamps, anything like that. You should have to verify that you are a citizen of the United States. So we're going to throw E-Verify out first thing. Sounds like a really Republican thing to do. Sounds like to me that big business grabbed a big old chunk of the groin of our senators and says, hey, you can't take away our cheap workforce here. That's what I think. Anyway, one other thing that is blatantly obvious, I've read the article, and I don't see anything about a wall. You know, we're not going to, it says we might beef up some border security, but we're not going to do anything as far as building a wall. Now, they didn't say that outright. They just left it out. Now, it's very obvious to me that the Republicans don't really want a solution. They don't want to take care of the border, and I hope that Donald Trump has the guts to say no to these guys whenever they come up with their final offer. Say, hey, there's no border wall here, and we are not dumping E-Verify. We're going to take care of this immigration problem. We're going to beef up security on the border. We're going to make sure that nobody gets into this country that's not supposed to be here. We're going to stop the drug trade. We're going to stop the people, even the minors coming from South America who are coming up becoming MS-13 gang members. We're going to stop all of this. And if you're willing to do that, then we're willing to let those kids stay here, the DACA kids. And I mean, as you know, my personal opinion is that their parents should have to go back to the other country, get their legal rights to come back before they can join their kids here. And I think the kids, you know, if they're young, like 3, 5, 10 years old, I don't think they qualify for DACA. But if they are, they should have to go back with their parents and come back under whatever DACA protections they have once their parents become citizens or once they're old enough to move back to the United States. But all that being said, it doesn't sound like the Republicans really want a good deal. They're listening to big business. They're listening to the swamp, and they're trying to push some of the deals actually say that they're wanting a down payment. In other words, they want to do a little bit now, and they want to start pushing the laws out where there's more done later. And to me, what that says is we want to wait until Donald Trump's no longer president. Then we can get rid of this problem. But for now, we're going to put a little bit out there so it looks like we're doing something. So they're hoping Donald Trump's going to be gone and either a Democrat or maybe another Republican that happens to be a part of the swamp that is Washington, D.C. comes along and takes over, and that they can just kind of pretend like nothing ever happened. They just give the DACA people theirs, and Nobody gets the wall. Nobody gets e-verify. Nobody gets anything else. Sounds like a Democrat thing to do to me.